Let's go ahead and start with our medical Qigong practice. So we're opening up, feet are hip width, shoulder width apart. We're settling into the space. Bringing our mind's awareness to the bottoms of the feet. Softening the knees. Relaxing the low back. Relaxing the shoulders. Tip of the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth. And the very top of the head is elevating just a bit into the sky. And from here, we're tapping with the right hand in a loose fist, starting at the lower dantian, lower energy center, which Henry spoke to us about yesterday. Breathing in and out through the nose. And traveling up the midline of the body. Waking up the channels, waking up the tissues. Connecting the mind and the body. Wiping out anything you don't need or want, letting it go back into the earth. Switching it up, now tapping with the left hand to open up the right side of the body. Coming up the midline. Noticing any areas that might feel a little more tender. You can make a whole practice out of just tapping. Wiping down the channels of the arm, taking away anything you don't need or want, and then widening the stance to the left, keeping those feet parallel, and tapping the inner thigh, and then up at the hip. Again, we're waking up the channels, waking up the body, getting that chi and blood moved. And widening the stance a little further so that we can continue our journey down the inner aspects of the legs towards just above the ankle. Coming to the outside, the lateral aspects of the legs, working our way up. Once you get to the hips and the glutes, sliding that left foot a little closer to the right, maintaining hip width shoulder with distance. And then continuing on up the low back towards just underneath the rib cage. Making up those kidneys. Placing the palms of the low back, circling down the sides, up the spine. Warming the kidneys. resting the palms at the low back, closing the eyes, and inhaling and exhaling through the nose. As we inhale, we're guiding the breath and the chi to the low back and the kidneys. Exhaling, allowing the chi to flow freely within the body. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the chi to the low back, allowing the kidneys to fill up with energy. And exhaling, allowing that energy to flow to wherever it's needed within the body. Taking a few more moments, breathing in and out at your own pace. Allowing the thoughts to drift away, focusing only on the breath, only on the present. Outside or other thoughts start percolating up. Just allow them to let go, allow them to drift away, and bring the mind back to the breath, and back to this present moment. When you're ready, gently opening the eyes, letting the arms come back down to the sides, and closing by bringing that left foot back to the right. Okay, so a couple of things before we begin. Never, ever, ever move into pain. If you're starting to feel joint pain or strain in any way, that is not just a simple light stretch, then please modify. These exercises are supposed to encourage blood and chi flow, and typically when we tighten, when we're in pain, we're cutting off the blood and chi flow. So this is indicative of all of the exercises we're doing today, except for one where we might have a claw. In that case, that area has tension, everything else is not. So let's start. Opening up hip width shoulder width apart, we're starting with our Reach for Happiness exercise out of the Golden 8. Inhaling and exhaling. In and out. Inhaling and exhaling. In and out. Inhaling as we gather. Exhaling, coming down. Inhaling, exhaling. In, reaching up as high as you can comfortably. Exhaling. In and out. Now that we've reviewed the exercise a couple of times, if you're familiar with it, start to relax into the exercise. Maybe slowing down if that works with your breath capacity. Speeding up if you need to have the movements go a little faster so that you're not running out of air. Finding your pace that works best for your body. Keeping the shoulders relaxed, keeping the jaw relaxed. Allowing yourself to relax into the movement, relax into the exercise, allowing the breath and the movement to harmonize. And getting ready to close. Bringing that left foot back to the right. Reaching for happiness, our exercise that we just did is for the lung and large intestine. Now we're doing our archer exercise for the heart and the small intestine. Opening up, feet are parallel. Settling into the space, softening the knees. Inhaling as we elevate the hands. Left hand on the outside. Exhaling as we press out to the left. Pulling back with the right. Inhaling, coming back to the center. Exhaling now, moving to the right as we pull back to the left. Inhaling, coming back to the center. Exhaling as we gaze at the tip of the middle finger. Inhaling, gazing now at the inner wrist. Exhaling. And inhaling. Continuing on, working at your own pace. Allowing for a full inhalation and exhalation, while still being relaxed and not forcing the breath. Starting to relax everything in this exercise except for that rear claw. Allowing the breath to draw you from side to side. Allowing one movement to flow into the next. Getting ready to close. Releasing the arms. Left foot comes back to the right. Opening up for our third exercise in the Golden Eight, between heaven and earth. The feet are parallel. This is for the spleen and stomach. Once again, settling into this space. We inhale. Exhale. Inhale. The left hand continuing up. The right hand pressing against the earth. Exhaling, bringing both hands together in front of the breastbone. Inhaling. And exhale. Inhaling. And exhaling. In. And out. Inhaling. And exhale. Moving at your own pace. Allowing the body to follow the breath. Increasing the speed or decreasing the speed of the movement, depending on your lung capacity. This is your Qigong practice. And once again, if the mind starts wandering away, just gently bring it back to the breath. Getting ready to finish up. and closing. Our fourth exercise for the Sanjiao, opening up hip width, shoulder width apart, feet are parallel. Turn and look back, inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling as we turn to the left with the torso, head, and eyes. Exhaling as we release the eyes, the head, and the torso. Inhaling to the right. Exhaling. Inhaling to the left. And exhaling. Inhaling to the right. And exhaling. Continuing on at your own pace. Tip of the tongue is still touching the roof of the mouth. And you're still inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Getting ready to finish up. And closing. Our liver and gallbladder exercise, opening up a little wider than shoulder width, hip width apart, is fine. Settling into position. And inhaling as we turn to the left, guiding that right shoulder up and gazing over the shoulder. Exhaling as we sink back to the center. Inhaling now to the right. And exhaling as we sink back to the center. Using your own pace, your own breath. Allowing your inhalation and exhalation to guide the body in its movement. And allowing the mind to stay with the breath. Getting ready to finish up. And closing. Opening for our sixth exercise. Bend for health. I don't know if I mentioned it, but our last exercise for the liver and gallbladder is called twist and release. Now we're doing bend for health for the kidneys, urinary bladder system. Feet are parallel. Relaxing into the space. Keeping the legs straight. but the knee joints not locked. We're inhaling, gathering around the lower dantian, exhaling fully into the low back and the kidney area. Inhaling as we look up, exhaling as we fall forward. Inhaling, coming up, looking back, releasing the hands. Exhaling, falling forward, making that connection between the middle finger and the space in the foot, at the bottom of the foot, between the second and third toe. Taking an extra inhale. And exhale. And then inhaling back on up to standing, stacking one vertebra on top of the next. Again, we're inhaling as we gather that energy around the lower dantian. Exhaling fully into the low back and the kidneys. Inhaling, opening up the throat, the chest, maybe the belly. Exhaling as we fold forward. Inhaling back to standing. And gazing up and back, opening the throat. Exhaling, coming all the way forward. Taking an extra inhale. And exhale. Inhaling back to standing. Okay, let's do 2 more at your own pace. Allowing yourself to enjoy each component of this exercise. And getting ready to close. Closing, bringing that left foot back to the right. Okay, with the feet as close together as is comfortable for you, we're taking the hands, rubbing them, creating a little bit of friction, drawing some of the chi that we've been cultivating over the past half hour to the palms. And then placing the palms at the lower dantian. Traditionally, left hand first, right hand on top for men. Right hand first, left hand on top for women. We're simply going to leave the palms here as we close the eyes. Inhaling, we're guiding the breath and the chi, the lower dantian, allowing it to fill up with energy. Exhaling, we're allowing this energy to settle and store so that we may use it throughout the rest of our day. Inhaling, we're gathering the chi into the lower dantian. Exhaling, we're allowing that chi to settle, store. Inhaling, guiding the breath and the chi to the lower dantian. Exhaling, allowing the body and mind to rest and relax. Thank you all so very, very much. I'm sorry I went a little over, and I'm sorry we had to rush through a bit of the end. But it's so good to see you. Henry, please answer our questions.
Hey, good morning. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Today I want to talk really quick about your eyes, okay? Patty asked this question a few days ago, but I just want to clear up for everybody. So for the first 3 exercises, okay, your eyes, when your hands are below your chest, your eyes are looking kind of off. They're open, but you don't want it to be closed, okay? The reason why we don't want to close our eyes is because then we go inward and you might then go into an imaginary state somewhere. And we want the practice to have you be here now. And that's why we want to have your eyes open as much as possible. So when your eyes are open in those cases, just straight ahead, you're not really focused on anything, just a soft gaze. Now, for those exercises, when your hands do come up to your chest, okay, and it's going up, for example, the first exercise, you can start to use your eyes to start to track your hands. And then follow them all the way up, okay? Same thing with the second exercise, that's a little bit more clear with us about following your hand as it goes out and comes back in. So that one's pretty straightforward. And the third one too is where you're tracking the hand once it starts to go above your chest. The reason why we do that is that it helps align and focus the energy. And part of that is your mind, okay? So that your mind doesn't wander off somewhere else. Your mind stays in the exercise, stays with your movement. And that's why we have the eyes go where they are. Okay, so that's one thing. And then the second thing is start to smooth out your movements. Okay, so we teach it initially, you're going to be more segmented, like stop and then down, stop and then up, stop. Okay, now you want to just try to make it so that it becomes one continuous movement. And all the moves then blend in each other. So you want to round out all the pauses and make it more continuous. Okay, so try that out, add that into your practice as a tweak to help you along to make this a much more smooth and fluid motion.